Julian Assange, he's either a hero or a villain, depends on who you ask. His inner circle used to include some of the world's most powerful and influential people, everyone from politicians to celebrities.
WikiLeaks, I love WikiLeaks.
I met Julian through Vivian Westwood.
This is your room? You may be an enemy of the state.
But now the WikiLeaks founder is behind bars in the UK, and the US wants him extradited on allegations he conspired to hack a Pentagon computer. And if he lands in US custody, he could be forced to reveal state secrets. So what does he know? This could be a hint.
We have upcoming leaks in relation to Hillary Clinton, which is great. We actually have WikiLeaks has a very big year ahead.
And yeah, it sure was a big year ahead. Sure enough, just hours after headlines broke about Trump bragging that he could grab women by the crotch, WikiLeaks released Hillary Clinton's campaign chairman's emails. We know now that those emails were hacked by a Russian military intelligence team. So what else does Assange know? He allegedly had contact with Trump confidant Roger Stone during his presidential campaign. Stone is tight-lipped. But does Assange have any dirt on the campaign's possible collusion with Russia? Then, of course, there's Chelsea Manning's secrets. She's back in prison for being unwilling to testify against WikiLeaks. Manning is the Army intelligence analyst who gave up that trove of documents, gave it to WikiLeaks, launching Assange into stardom back in 2010. And now, analysts are saying the U.S. Department of Justice wants to threaten Assange with prison time to get him to cough up dirt. Joining me from Washington is Brad Moss. He's a lawyer who specializes in national security and government transparency. So, Brad, it seems a lot of people have turned on Julian Assange in the last few years. Why is that?
Oh, how the world has changed since 2010 when Julian Assange was the rock star. I mean, look, even the president of the United States who relied on his leaks during the 2016 election suddenly doesn't know who WikiLeaks is, and it's not really his thing. You know, look, a lot has gone on in the last 9 years. He's been holed up in the Ecuadorian embassy for almost 7 years. He's now going to face some charges. They're not the charges that he had always worried they were going to be. It's a far more narrow range of issues. We're going to see what happens in the next coming months between the extradition fight and then his ultimate fight at trial here in the United States.
So what does he know? We know that the Mueller report, or the update on the Mueller report, is supposed to come out soon. Is there a link? Like, there's all these suspicions about, was he really a stooge for the Russians? What does he know?
Sure, that's got to be one of the most amazing $64,000 questions. What does Julian Assange know? Because he's the man who keeps everybody else's secrets. What secrets of his own are we going to finally learn about? And one of them was, yes, what happened in 2016. We got some details when the president's former advisor, Roger Stone, was indicted. We know that Roger Stone was trying to coordinate with WikiLeaks in advance of upcoming publications about the DNC emails and John Podesta's emails. We know the Trump campaign thought that Roger Stone had that connection. Will we get more detail from Julian Assange? Will he rat out those people? I don't necessarily anticipate that. That's not his MO. But we're going to find out when he finally comes to the United States, assuming extradition goes through, and he's facing the reality of time behind bars. We'll see if he cuts a deal and cooperates with federal investigators.
Yeah, he's got to have some secrets, because we've seen now the visiting logs at the embassy in Ecuador. The Russians were going to visit him. He had a TV show with the Russians. Presumably he was paid for that. It's interesting that none of his leaks had anything to do with Russia. But what does he actually know? And will he turn on Trump? Will he turn on Roger Stone?
Yeah, and that always was the question was, is there something for him to actually use, any damaging material to turn on someone like Donald Trump or Roger Stone? And I have to imagine, and this is just speculating on my part, that if Robert Mueller, the special counsel, had truly found some type of connection between WikiLeaks and Roger Stone to the Trump campaign, we would have seen more detail about it now. There would have been additional indictments. There could be more detail coming out in the Mueller report, which is supposed to drop any day now. We'll find out when that comes out. But in terms of his, as Julian Assange in Russia, it's always been that question. Was he just this unwitting, naive tool of the Russian state, or was there some deeper connection? Hopefully one day when, we start writing history books about this, we'll have more detail of what exactly went down at WikiLeaks.